Hey guys, and welcome to the Igloo, and today we're going to be showing you on how to do every single mutation in Fallout 76. So, in order for you to get mutated, you're going to need to be irradiated, and the only way to get rid of radiation is with right-of-way. Now, with this specific card, you're going to be able to keep your mutations, as well as making sure so that the right-of-way doesn't get rid of your mutations. So, this is how simple it is. Literally go into the area, dip your feet into the radiation, come out of that area, and then you get mutated. You do that for every single mutation. It took me about a day and a half to get every single mutation that I've gotten on this board right now, but I was able to get all these mutations so that it can be able to help within a PvP situation, especially if you are a melee build, or you are a musketoon build, or you want to be like a rifleman build. There are a lot of advantages when it comes to this, especially there's another one called running speed, but I haven't been able to get that yet. But there's also other things that make you have more resistance towards damage, which will be very beneficial, especially in later game stuff, and if you're going to be doing solo. Now, for every mutation that's in the game, you're able to have every mutation in the game, and it's very simple. You can be able to do this, fly around, jump into people's bases, getting everything else done. You don't need to do anything crazy. And for what you're able to get out of it is that you're able to have every advantage in the game. Jumping farther, running farther, doing almost anything. Melee builds. If you have certain setups, you're able to even counteract those things with having a min-max build. But that is not my content because somebody else made a min-max build. And it'll probably be out there on YouTube somewhere pretty shortly. But again, there is a lot of things that can be as an advantage to having all these mutations, and especially if you're going to be jumping, running, doing almost anything, taking damage, being a tank. These are builds that are going to be 100% viable when it comes to PvP, and they stack. The only time that they don't stack is inside a nuclear zone. Some actually get nerfed, and you cannot use those while you're inside a nuclear zone because they become deficient, and you cannot use them in particular when you are in that nuclear zone. I don't know if you're able to get mutations while in the nuclear zone. I would assume so, but that is for another subject. I would rather you just dip your feet into some toxic water and then they come right out. And this is just a short video that I wanted to throw on out there because there's a lot of like misconceptions with like what's an exploit versus like what was already an in-game mechanic that they need to fix, especially because of that. Another thing that they are trying to fix is like there is a way so that you can be able to have infinite storage for your fusion cores. So if you're going to be walking around, I've tested this myself. I know I forget what video I saw it from, but I saw it from a video as well. But you're able to just put as many fusion cores as you want inside a chassis. Not the chassis that you're climbing in, but like a secondary chassis that you're able to do. The other thing that you can do if you actually carry a chassis itself is that you're able to equip armor onto it so that you're going to be able to carry all that armor back and not have that weight gain that you have from carrying all that back, because whenever you put it back into your inventory, it's going to still be 10 carry weights. It's very useful between those two different exploits, even though armor does and will not scale when it comes to putting your power armor into your inventory. Because if you're going to be being like, alright, so we have 100 pounds of power armor that we just picked up and put into our inventory. Yeah, that wouldn't be fun for a lot of people, and it would force people to think about whether they want to have a chassis to bring around and fusion cores. And honestly, it would just be like only for the slot to be available fusion core for the power armor. And that's where I would see a lot of that happening. So between those two, like, per se, exploits that you would actually be having, that's more prominent than the mutation one. With the mutation one, they could put a fixed top limit of only having like 2 mutations at a time or something like that. But in the meantime, you can literally have every single mutation possible so that you're able to do whatever you need. And if you guys like this kind of stuff, please leave a like, leave a comment down below, and have a good one, guys.